We are the anchors of Queer News Tonight, and this evening we discuss the queer headlines. Viral I've Had It podcast clip fuels LGBTQ reactions after blunt listener links MAGA masculinity to rise of late-in-life lesbians.
New national survey warns LGBTQ healthcare access is declining, with rising stigma, funding fears, and worsening mental health, especially in South Florida.
A queer-coded hacker erased 3 white supremacist websites live on stage in Germany, exposing weak security and sparking viral celebration.
Queer football stars Sam Kerr and Kristie Mewis marry, celebrating love and visibility.
Governor Tim Walz exits re-election race, leaving LGBTQ Minnesotans reflecting on his lasting pro-equality legacy behind.
All this important LGBTQ plus news and a whole lot more this evening on Queer News Tonight. Welcome to Queer News Tonight. This is the world's first and only LGBTQ daily news television show, broadcasting live and available on demand on your favorite streaming channels.
Analytics company vidIQ has certified that Queer News Tonight YouTube channel as the world's most popular LGBTQ streaming news show. Our queer stories have reached over 11 million views. We are proud that Queer News Tonight has more YouTube subscribers than any other LGBTQ brand in Florida.
We thank you for watching and supporting our voice in our rainbow family. There is no other news program in the LGBTQ world like Queer News Tonight.
It is Wednesday, January 7th. We are live and literally out of the closet and into the headlines. So many of your important stories we'll tell this evening on Queer News Tonight.
You're watching Queer News Tonight, the world's first daily LGBTQ evening news show.
Welcome to the world's most important LGBTQ evening news show.
Hotspots Magazine, Happening Out Television Network, is a nonprofit 501c3 media company in the same model as PBS and NPR, but created for the LGBTQ community. Our nonprofit mission is to support the 11 pillars of our community. We want to inform and educate the key issues of lesbian, trans, Latino, Black, healthcare, seniors, students, faith, social justice, business, and queer culture. Help us support our diverse community.
We are part of one of the largest LGBTQ nonprofit media companies in America, Hotspots Magazine and Happening Out Television Network. In 2026, our magazine is celebrating 41 years of the LGBTQ experience, and Queer News Tonight is celebrating our 5th anniversary with more than 11,000 LGBTQ television stories. We present South Florida's major LGBTQ events, including Pride Fort Lauderdale, Stonewall Pride, and Pride Fest. Our magazine, events, television, news, talk, and entertainment shows support our mission, which is to educate the LGBTQ and broader community.
In 2026, more than 100 community leaders will sit at this very table and share their voice as our anchors. Together, we host this show to support the LGBTQ plus community. Let's meet this evening's anchors at Queer News Tonight. Let's welcome anchor and my brother from another mother. He's Von Biggs. He's a community engagement and outreach coordinator at Holy Cross Health, a vice chair of the Ryan White Part A Planning Council, and in his spare time, which is none, he's a board member of Trans Ed and Harmony Waves. Von, Silver Pride Connection is hosting a free LGBTQ plus wellness lunch at Holy Cross Health on January 9th. Tell us what's happening out.
That's right, Faye. Holy Cross Health invites LGBTQ plus older adults to Silver Pride Connection on Friday, January 9th from 12 to 2 p.m. at the Holy Cross Family Health Center in Oakland Park. This free support and wellness gathering offers safe, affirming space for connection, education, and community. January's topic, Managing Meds and Maximizing Life, focuses on practical strategies for medication management and living your healthiest life at any age. Designed for LGBTQ plus seniors in Broward County, Silver Pride Connection promotes dignity, empowerment, and holistic care. Lunch is provided and all are welcome. Learn more about it at holy-cross.com/silver-pride-connection. I really enjoy doing this. This is something that's kind of passionate to me because it is of the aging community, and unfortunately I'm part of that community.
Oh, please.
But it's great because it's a very intimate group. It's not designed to be 50, 60 people showing up to have a brunch or something like that. It's to really talk about navigating the healthcare. And so having different topics and talking about them is really learning a lot. And the excitement thing is I've now got agencies that have reached out to me, and we're taking Silver Pride on the road.
Ooh.
So soon it's going to be going to other agencies and be able to offer that at other locations. So I'm super excited for that.
That's incredible. Listen, we stand on these folks' shoulders, and we can't ever forget that. You know what I mean? And then like just you saying like navigating healthcare is hard at our age. I can't even imagine at an older age,
Right.
And in this, you're giving people community also, right? Okay, people are getting information that they need, a way to manage meds, which is so important. Meds change every day. There's always new meds. There's always a different way to use an old med, and for us that are not in healthcare, that could just sound like so confusing. And so I know for me that when something is confusing, I negate. I don't want to know anything more, right? And that's what you should not do.
Right. And you think about, there's a lot of medications, and a lot of people that are aging, take multivitamins, and they may not be telling their doctors that they're taking these, or some of the men are ordering their ED drugs from Canada or Mexico, and they're not sharing that. So you get a polypharmacy aspect going where they need to disclose that information to their medical providers and talk about it, how to manage that, stay away from the St. John's wort and things like that impact so many drugs out there.
I have been to a couple of them, and I have to say it's really inclusive. And I do love that the focus is on healthcare, and not only healthcare, mental health care as well. There was one session where the topic was grieving, and that was really interesting. People opened up, they spoke, and then you spoke about mental health care, and that was really important. So kudos to you and Holy Cross for doing that. It's really great. I've come to terms with the fact that I'm an elder now.
Oh my God, I can't.
I hate saying I'm an elder, but I'm an elder, so I'm gonna have to wear it.
Well, I mean, you're an elder because because you're knowledgeable. Okay, if that's what makes you an elder, then okay, I'll take it, because I would go to both of you for any kind of information I needed and know that I would get some good information back. And that's what folks are gonna get at your event, sponsored by Holy Cross. So Queer News Tonight looks forward to seeing you all at Silver Pride Connection LGBTQ plus Wellness Lunch on January 9th. Yes, we've got family at the table today for sure. Let's welcome back anchor Franchesca D'Amore. She's an advocate and holistic life coach. She is the founder of Trans Ed and an executive committee member of the Broward Regional HIV Planning Council. Franchesca, Trans Ed, one of the most incredible nonprofits ever, opens 2026 scholarship applications. Tell us what's happening.
We're really excited about this year. Trans Ed is really proud to announce $25,000 in scholarships for transgender and non-binary young adults ages 18 to 34 this year in 2026. The scholarship application period opens March 9th and closes May 18th, with recipients announced during the first week of June, and during Pride Month, that's when we will have our scholarship award ceremony. I think that's really fitting. These scholarships support educational and personal growth for trans and non-binary youth nationwide. The community can also support Trans Ed by donating or joining our team at the 2026 Florida AIDS Walk on March 21st, where all donations will be matched by AHF. Learn more, apply, or get involved at transend.org. I'm really, really excited about this. Vaughn is one of our board members, and the first year, we've actually been operational for a little over 2 years.
Wow.
But at the end of 2024, our first scholarship was $2,500. Then in 2025, we did $12,500. And actually Unity was helpful with that, Holy Cross, and we had a lot of great supporters. And this year, our goal is to give out 8 scholarships, a total value of $1,000.
Franchesca, congratulations. Okay, whenever we mention Trans Ed here on the show, a smile overtakes me, because I know that this was your passion, this was your goal. You were going to do this no matter what else was going on, you going to school, people sick, all kinds of stuff that were going on in your life. You were like, I am still dedicated. I want non-binary and transgender folks to get this help, you know, to elevate their careers or to go to the next level educationally. And you've done that. And look at you, $25,000, Franchesca.
It's insane. You know, we've worked really
Holy
hard.
crap.
And, you know, I push. Like, I don't...
You don't
think
sleep
I'm
on
quiet,
this.
but I don't. I'm that girl who gets things done. We have our GED certification program still as well, where we have young adults who are getting GED certifications. There are 4 different subjects. We go one at a time. We found that it could take anywhere from 2 to 3 years with our students this is high school.
Yes.
And a lot of our students haven't been in school since the 8th grade, some 6th grade. So it's really like teaching all of high school. So we want to prepare them for college. So part of what we do is get them through the GED and then get them into their first class at a community college and really show the support, you know, that our trans and non-binary community really needs. So
and deserve and humanly we all deserve, you know. And you get those basic community kind of dealings in school. You get to, you know, you're taught how to be in community, how to deal with people. And a lot of these folks unfortunately drop out at an early age because of bullying, because of, you know, a myriad of different things. And you know, you're able to give them that and go, hey, you get to go to college. Like where, you know, I've seen some of these folks go like, I just thought I was quitting school and I was never ever going to be able to open up a book again, you know. Wait, students still open books, right? Okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we provide books still. We still have a GED book. And you're right, community is really important. Our classes are done via Zoom, and we've expanded in doing group classes now. And there's a sense of community, and we have trans men, trans women, and it's really a great support. And they, you know, the clients really lean on each other. It's really great. It's been really a great experience. I know I've had my struggles with school myself, you know, from a very young age, and I've had to push myself through. And I just hate that our, you know, trans youth has to go through that. So we fill in a void where we can, and we move forward. But $25,000.
$25,000! Like, come on, you started with $2,500, like, which was an incredible gift as it was. I'm so proud of you, girl.
So support us, please. We really need your support.
So please support Trans Ed. Walk with them for the Florida AIDS Walk, and also March 9th. Okay, that's when the application process starts. So start thinking of someone that you know could use this help. Right, trans folks, non-binary folks, their Trans Ed is here to help and make that happen. Okay, so it closes May 18th. So it gives you some kind of time there to plan ahead and get this application in. Right? There you go. Queer News Tonight looks forward to getting a positive response. That's all of you out there to the Trans Ed 2026 scholarship applications.
And of course, let's welcome tonight's lead anchor, FayWhat. You know, I just love her to death. I just do. I missed you. Let's welcome FayWhat. She is a legendary events host, television and radio personality, and the host of Hotspots Happening Out's The FayWhat Show. Faye, Wilton Onesie Wonderland Bar Crawl returns on January 17th. Tell me what's happening out.
Yes, for sure, Vaughn. So bundle up in your favorite onesie and hit the town for the Wilton Onesie Wonderland Bar Crawl on Saturday, January 17th. This free community-powered crawl kicks off at 6 p.m. at Lip Bar with an opening party and onesie contest, then continues to Spencer's Corner Bar, then Gym Bar, then Tap That Ash, and wraps up with a closing party at the one and only Hunter's Nightclub. While the crawl is free, VIP bracelets unlock drink specials and exclusive perks, so you want to get that bracelets, okay? With proceeds supporting Lantera's mental health initiatives. We love the folks over there at Lantera. Cozy looks, cocktails, and a cause. There is one winter night you won't want to miss, all right there, except it's in South Florida, so it'll be nice and warm for you. I love this event. Okay. And I love anything to do with onesies. I'm all about it, you know, and like whenever they do a onesie crawl on Wilton, it's a sight to be seen to see these folks go from one bar to another. I mean, someone needs to film that. I got to stop being a part of that and like start filming out, because it's like you see a ton of people. You know that us gays, we love a theme. But when it comes to a onesie, you're not wearing anything underneath. You know what I mean? It's easy access for a lot. I think Vaughn wore a harness under his once or something. But like, But it's like it's so much fun. And let's talk about Lantera. Anything to do with mental health, that I want to support. Rex Rogosh is at the head of this, and he's very similar to you, Franchesca. He don't take no shit, especially when it comes to his baby Lantera, and he's out there fighting. Before his event finishes, he's already on his next one. And I mean, come on, nobody. We know the stigma of mental health. We know how most people are affected by mental health disparities and obstacles, and don't know where to go or where to get their help. And Lantera is there trying to make this happen, but in a happy, fun way. I mean, who doesn't want to put a onesie on?
Right.
I have a giraffe onesie. I have to put it this.
So well, see, I wore one. So I was away all last week, up in Chicago, and I actually wore a onesie every single day.
Nice.
So no, I had one on. I was like, oh my gosh,
I'm ready for it.
I'm ready for it. It's a teddy bear one too. So yeah,
it'll be a perfect bear theme
I
for
know,
you.
right? So yeah, I'll be out in that.
I love that. All right, so
Now I
get
gotta
your
go
onesies
onesie
ready.
shopping.
But you're right, nothing underneath.
Nothing under.
Queer News Tonight looks forward to seeing you at Wilton Onesie Wonderland Bar Crawl on January 17th.
I'm FayWhat, and let's queer up the USA view. Lesbian thanks MAGA alpha males, and the internet has thoughts. A viral moment from the I've Had It podcast is lighting up LGBTQ social media after a lesbian listener delivered what hosts called one of the best listener voice memos of 2025. During the political pop culture show, Jennifer Welch and Angie Sullivan played the message, which opened bluntly.
I cannot thank these alpha male MAGA people enough. You don't understand. The more they bitch, the more they complain, the more they whine, the stupider they look, the dumber they look, the more alpha they look in putting women down. It has caused a massive growth in the late in life lesbian community. They have dried up more straight women's vaginas than any other movement on the planet. It has opened more doors for these late in life lesbians than ever known possible. So on an opposite note of you, I thank these MAGA whiners because they've set the bar so low for me as a lesbian. All they have to do is hold the door open and their panties drop. So thank you, men.
Posted by I've Had It podcast on TikTok, the clip sparked thousands of reactions. One commenter wrote, quote, "I'm bisexual. My husband knows he's the last man I'll ever be with," end quote. Another summed it up simply, quote, "No lies detected," end quote. I get that this is supposed to be funny, but, when we talk about late in life lesbian, let's be queer. Let's be clear and let's be queer, all right? Women aren't suddenly becoming gay because it's trendy or because straight men got irritating. Straight men have always been irritating, okay? Being a lesbian is not a choice, and it certainly isn't an act of protest. What is happening is this. More women are finally choosing themselves. Okay, the louder the so-called alpha MAGA masculinity gets, the easier it becomes to see how little space is left for women's dignity, safety, and joy in that world. Misogyny doesn't turn women gay. It just stops them from pretending anymore. Many of us spent years or decades trying to live the life we were told we were supposed to. Some women are simply done performing. So if anything, these alpha men didn't create late in life lesbians. They just helped rip the mask off. Okay? Women aren't running to lesbianism. We're running back to ourselves.
Well said.
I agree.
Yeah.
From my perspective, it gets kind of repulsive on the dating scene. I haven't dated in a while, but I could understand why it becomes a better option. It's like, the other white meat, it's good to have as an option. And I think most of us are bisexual anyway, truth be told, if we're honest about it. But yeah, I don't think that they're causing women, to become lesbians. I think you're right. We are becoming stronger and more empowered. And the louder they scream, the dumber they look, but depends who's watching. It's all perspective, right?
I mean, there's women on TikTok that are saying, I'm done with men for right now. The misogyny is real. It's just too much. These alpha bros are not anything that I want to be a part of. So I'm just going to do me and do me. You know what I mean?
And who doesn't understand women better than other women?
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
this is true.
I'd like to think so.
No, yeah, of course,
Right? Okay.
of course. Listen, there are women that had orgasms with men and then slept with a woman once, and we're like, oh, that's what it was supposed to be like.
Right,
I mean,
exactly.
but we're not. Again, my best friend is straight. She's straight, right? And she will always be straight. And once who got into the White House, those dating apps got more and more scary. Right? Men were putting their shit right out there, all right? Like, hey, pro America, if you're DEI or woke, don't even bother. Like putting that on their top page. I mean, like, how does a woman even go, oh, I want to go try out this guy? You know what I mean? Like, and she said it's become to a point where she had to get off some of those dating apps because it just was like what's happened to some men, and joking, she said, I should go with women, right? You know what I mean? But I'm not, so I can't, so I won't.
So there we go.
So there we go.
So there are toys and options.
There
we go.
The Hustler store is down the street. You're good. No problem.
There we go.
I'm Von Biggs, and let's queer up healthcare. New national survey warns LGBTQ plus health is threatened. South Florida hit especially hard. Tonight, we turn our attention to a powerful new report from the National Coalition for LGBTQ Health that raises urgent concerns for the community. The 2025 State of LGBTQ Health National Survey, completed by more than 700 healthcare professionals, describes a system many providers now call threatened, with others labeling it uncertain and scary. The findings are stark. Fear of stigma and institutional distrust is keeping LGBTQ plus people from seeking care. Gender-affirming care is under attack, with 92% of the providers fearing cuts to Medicare and Medicaid will reduce access. A growing mental health crisis shows rising depression, anxiety, and suicidal ideation. At the same time, nearly half of queer healthcare workers considered leaving their jobs in the past few months. Here in South Florida, the impact is even more severe. 50% of the respondents cited insurance barriers, compared to 28% in California, putting Medicaid-dependent communities at higher risk of losing hormone therapy, mental health services, and HIV care. As we face these challenges, one thing is clear. LGBTQ plus health is not a niche issue. It's a community issue. And in South Florida, where diversity is our strength, we must ensure that every person, regardless of identity, has access to safe, affirming, and affordable care. For more information, visit healthlgbtq.org and stay tuned to Queer News Tonight as we continue to spotlight the stories that matter most to our community. This is a big report. I've read through the whole thing.
You read the whole thing?
I did. I'm one of those.
You're a nerd.
I love that.
Yeah,
I am. I know.
Mm-hmm.
But it is scary. It highlights the things that we've been saying all along about stigma and all that. And we've always looked at how, since someone took office, how DEI got removed. And now we're starting to see where everybody's rolling back on LGBTQ healthcare. Yeah. And it's really sad to see, because we see that, and then when we're talking about HIV, we're hearing now with all the cuts that's happening. I just got word today that there's a major cut coming from Florida that's going to affect nearly, at least in Broward County, 9,000 of our people living with HIV. It's going to affect their health care. Wow. So there's more to come on that one. But this just continues to show that we have got to keep standing up, speaking up. And as I tell people, if your provider is not helping you, your provider isn't giving you what you need, find another one.
There's so many providers out there, and there is insurance for you folks. Yes. Okay, look for it, do your research. They want you to not take care of yourself. Right. They want you to not go get these life-affirming meds. Right. I mean, this is not even just like a who you choose. This is life or death, Vaughn.
Right, exactly.
And folks that have been using these meds for years and years, all of a sudden are going to get something in the mail saying, hey, by the way, we had a cut. Right. And it's going to cut your meds.
I mean, Florida, we were cut with, the country was cut with Medicare and Medicaid, but Florida never expanded that. So we didn't lose as much as some states have lost billions of dollars for healthcare because of those cuts. So, yeah, I mean, Florida is better off in that case, but we're going to see this trickle down for quite a while until something is done. Healthcare costs continue to rise. Insurance companies continue to put pressure on organizations like hospitals and medical clinics to negotiate rates, to decrease them, keep cutting them down for what they're reimbursing for rates. I was actually at Alibis recently, and I was talking to two gentlemen who were mental therapists, and they were here from Oklahoma City, just here on vacation. But they both have their own practice in Oklahoma City, and I was saying, we could use, and they were black men, and I was like, we could use some black therapists here in Florida,
of course,
for sure, especially for LGBTQ. And they said the difference is I can get reimbursed 3 times as much in Oklahoma City than I can in Florida for mental therapy, and it's just like.
My God, come on. These providers are not going to do their jobs when they're getting paid $25 to sit with somebody. They're just not.
No.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's really scary from the trans perspective as well. From my own experience and from speaking to other trans and non-binary individuals, there's always been discrimination, stigma, a lot of obstacles that stand in the way of actually getting the care, the best care that we all deserve.
Yeah.
And all of the stigma and then these services being taken away from us, especially with HIV, with regards to HIV, there's a very high percentage of trans women that are living with HIV. I believe it was 42%.
That's astonishing.
In the U.S. in 2020. Yeah. There are a lot of trans women that are on retroviral therapies, so that is one of the good things, but we want to keep it that way.
Yeah.
And there's been so much work in the HIV population at large with all demographics to really get people in systems of care, make sure there's medication adherence. This sort of thing is going to really kind of bring that to a screeching halt, and we're going to be going backwards. We already are, and the numbers are going to reflect it, and we're going to go more back into the darker ages, and it's really scary and unnecessary.
Right.
Unnecessary, and the stigma is ridiculous.
We're so close to viral suppression.
Yeah.
But yet this is potentially, the fear is potentially this is going to set us back.
It will.
Wow. Folks, and LGBTQ plus folks at home, find the place that represents LGBTQ plus folks, okay? If wherever it is that you're getting your care, make sure that they know that they have not eliminated their LGBTQ part of their page or whatever it is. A lot of people did that in the middle of the night without letting anybody know, And those are the first people that are not going to come to your rescue or help you with the affirming care that you deserve, that you're used to. Again, that you deserve as an American, okay?
Right.
Because we forget about that, because it's like we're marginalized so much that it's, I don't deserve the care. You deserve the care.
You just you just get the scraps that you're given in order to survive. And we all deserve to flourish, and we all deserve to have the best health care, just like everybody else.
Right. Amen. Amen.
I'm Franchesca D'Amore, and let's queer up the USA view. Pink Power Ranger hacker nukes neo-Nazi dating sites live on stage. A moment of queer-coded justice unfolded on stage in Germany as an ethical hacker dressed as the Pink Power Ranger wiped out 3 white supremacist websites in real time. The semi-anonymous hacktivist, known as Martha Root, appeared at the Chaos Communication Congress in Hamburg wearing a Kimberly Hart costume and deleted the servers for White Date, White Child, and White Deal as the crowd cheered. White Date was described by Hoffman as, quote, Tinder for Nazis, unquote. The other sites included a sperm and egg donor matching platform and what TechCrunch called a labor marketplace for racists. In a viral clip, Martha opens a Python script that erases the sites, backups, and related email accounts. The anonymous administrator later complained online, quote, they publicly deleted all my websites while the audience rejoices. This is cyber terrorism, end quote. Martha told TechCrunch the hack was possible due to, quote, poor cybersecurity hygiene that would make even your grandma's AOL account blush, end quote. User images reportedly exposed sensitive metadata. The 3 sites had about 6,500 users. 86% were men. What's your superpower? Wouldn't that be like a great thing to do, though? Look what I could do. Oh, my God.
Go Power Rangers.
Where do we begin in that story? I mean, poor security hygiene. What happened? Security didn't douche? What is going on?
The douche didn't douche.
Oh, my God, Franchesca.
But that's pretty impactful. That's pretty powerful, though, to do that. And how scary that these sites are out there And they're just, the word white is in every single one of them, and dominance and all the things that are just happening right now in the world we live in that are just tilting everything to a place that was 1920s, 50s, 40s, and we're back there again. I'm like, so kudos to you. Put on that pink Power Ranger outfit and kick some meta ass.
We don't search these things, so we don't know about these kind of things, right? And then it's really scary when you see a story like this, because that where there's 2, there's 3,000. You know what I mean? And I don't condone illegal hacking, of course, but I do understand the catharsis of watching hate lose its Wi-Fi. You know what I mean? Like, come on, extremism keeps trying to organize, and people keep pushing back. That's the real win, okay, in that building, where I want to live in a world where Nazis don't have a platform, online or off, and these hackers took it upon themselves to do a little house cleaning. I'm not mad at it.
It's like you said, we don't search these things, right? So when I hear these things, I'm like, what? But my brain doesn't go there to think that way. But then I think, okay, the heterosexual community doesn't think about Grindr either, so.
Or do they?
Well,
or maybe they do. Well, unless you're.
We do remember the Republican National Convention where, Grindr kind of crashed. Just saying. I'm FayWhat, and let's queer up lesbian and queer women. Sam Kerr and Kristie Mewis tie the knot in soccer's royal wedding. 2 of the world's most celebrated footballers have made it official. Australian national team star and Chelsea striker Sam Kerr and U.S. midfielder Kristie Mewis are married in what fans are calling soccer's royal wedding. The couple tied the knot on New Year's Eve and shared photos from their wedding day on Instagram. The celebration comes months after the pair announced the birth of their son, Jagger Mewis Kerr, in May. Fans flooded the comments with love. One wrote, quote, "This is the strongest act of sportsmanship I've ever seen," end quote. Another added, quote, "The gays stay winning," end quote. The couple, who confirmed their engagement in November 2023, have long spoken about the importance of visibility in football. Mewis told Gaffer, quote, "I think just being out and being 2 girls in love, I think if we can change 1 or 2 people's lives and the way that they feel about each other and how comfortable they feel, I love to share my relationship on social media. So I think if we can change the way 1 or 2 people feel about themselves, they can look at us and see that we're happy and we're trying to be as successful as we can, and we're an out gay couple. I think that's so important," end quote. I wish your quote was a little shorter. I'm so sorry. It's important, but yeah. This is what queer joy looks like. I mean, I was just looking at me and Teresa's wedding from 8 years ago, and it just it warms my heart, because it's kind of like, you're showing your love publicly, unapologetically, and in a gorgeous, beautiful way, showing your wedding day and sharing it with people that you love. It's not politics. It's just permission to dream our bigger lives that we all deserve in our community, And I love that they're so public about it, because obviously visibility is key. People, people who love sports, right? They have to look at their favorite player and go, "Oh, I love that player," and they're gay, right? Not have it be, "Oh, they're gay, I don't like them as a player anymore," and their visibility helps that a lot.
I think it's important. It's interesting. I've been watching Say Yes to the Dress a lot.
Oh, I love that
It's
show.
great background, right?
Yes.
And there are a lot of lesbian couples on that. And I think it's really great. Like you said, visibility is so important. And I hate that we have to say this should be normalized, because it is normal, but the more people see that we're humans and this is a human experience that we have in common with everybody, I think it opens up minds and hearts.
Right? Like being part of Say Yes to the Dress, or being 2 soccer stars that are getting married and being so public about it.
Exactly, which is wonderful.
I think it's great because it's sports, right? And we don't typically see sports icons or sports stars they may get married, but it may not be with another one.
Yeah.
So when you start seeing that happening, more and more, it kind of bends the lens a little bit, and I like that. It's kind of like, okay, people, like you said, people are going to disagree with it, but at the end of the day, they're happy.
Yeah.
And
right?
gorgeous.
Yeah.
Right?
And gorgeous.
I know.
Right. I hope that one day we'll get to the point where you'll say, you'll reference your partner and the person across from you won't flinch.
Right.
I dream of those days.
I'm Von Biggs, and let's queer up politics. Tim Walz steps out of the governor's race, leaving a powerful LGBTQ plus legacy. Democratic Minnesota Governor Tim Walz has announced he will not seek a third term, a decision that has landed heavily with LGBTQ plus communities who have long viewed him as a trusted ally. Walz confirmed he was stepping away from the race, choosing instead to focus on governing amid backlash tied to welfare fraud scandal with hundreds of millions of dollars taken from child nutrition programs. In a statement posted on Twitter, Walz said, quote, "Every minute I spend defending my own political interests would be a minute I can't spend defending the people of Minnesota against the criminals who prey on our generosity and the cynics who prey on our differences. So I've decided to step out of the race and let others worry about the election while I focus on the work," end quote. He added he is leaving with zero sadness and zero regret. Kamala Harris, his 2024 running mate, praised his leadership, saying his choice showed, quote, "selfless commitment to the people he serves," end quote. For LGBTQ plus Minnesotans, Walz leaves behind a legacy supporting a gay-straight alliance as a teacher, backing marriage equality, early banning conversion practices, protecting trans youth, and calling for repeal of Don't Ask, Don't Tell. His impact will be felt long after this race ends. You know, I remember doing this story when they talked about him.
When Kamala was running.
Yes, yeah. And I remember the story about him and the things that he did as a teacher and talking about those things. And while it's sad to see him stepping away, he has built something in legislation that I feel now, as he said, he's able to step in and make sure that it's not going to change. So I feel there's I always like to think the glass is half full, that there's a positive aspect to this, and that is he's going to make sure this last year that he's putting those systems in place to protect those rights that he's created. And, you know, in the future we'll see what happens. But
Franchesca, you were mentioning before the show about how he's been put through the ringer. I mean, you know, 180 days or however it was, how many ever months he had running for vice president-elect with Kamala Harris, and the scrutiny and everything. I mean, he got demolished during that time, you know. I mean, it was like we heard about the great things that he did, but everybody was just also fishing. You know, and so here we are, and, you know, what do you think about it?
Well, I feel as if he is a great leader, and he really is. He believes in the dream, and he believes in the goal, and he believes in fighting for the people, and he believes in, obviously, LGBTQ rights. But I could understand how you'd also just get exhausted with the whole, you know, the rhetoric that's involved in politics and being front and center all the time. It must be exhausting.
And for his family, too, because it's not just him. When you run, your whole family runs, you know, and is under scrutiny for things like that, you know. Leadership is measured in what you stand up for, not how long you stay in the race, okay? So Tim Walz chose service over ego and leaves a real LGBTQ plus legacy, you know, protections, dignity, action. Politicians talk allyship. He governed it, and he made it happen. So I've learned the hard way that two things can be true. You know, he could be, yes, he's being investigated for some stuff that doesn't sound good or legit, but he also was there for us in certain instances that it was so needed. I mean, gay straight alliance all day, every day.
Sure.
LGBTQ 1 minute news. Let's queer up drag culture. Florida queens take over the Drag Race Season 18 premiere. We're starting with Drag Race, where Florida queens made a big first impression. Here's what went down in the Season 18 premiere. Season 18 of RuPaul's Drag Race kicked off with major South Florida energy. Athena Dion led the charge as the first queen in the workroom, earning instant respect. West Palm's Mia Starr delivered hip-hop polish, while Miami's Juicy Love Dion landed in the bottom three, but won praise for charisma. The Florida dominance rattled competitors. One queen even sighed, quote, "No more Florida, please." It was an incredible season premiere. I was at our house watching it with Athena Dion, with Mia Starr, with Vita, and with Juicy Love Dion. I mean, the four queens were right there for the premiere, which was awesome. And it was incredible to see them see themselves. Right? I mean, they had already seen the premiere, but you know, it's one of those things where you're so excited. They were actually like home watching it, our house, with their, you know, with people that know them and adore them. Athena's quick wit, man, was so front and center. Folks at home, if you didn't watch it already, tough shit, okay? I'm ruining it for you, right? You're still going to want to see it. Trust me, all right? Athena Dion came in and like lit up the whole workroom, and her zingers were just quoted everywhere. I mean, she was just like, bringing it down. And when people reposted that event where she started like, reading people, she was like, this is just how we do in Miami. It's like what we do with our friends. It's how we talk, between ourselves, which was incredible. There was a couple of other things that happened that I need to like just remember real quick. Mia Starr was dressed in a whole jean outfit, which was gorgeous, right? And the jeans were all jeans that she kept from her brother who passed away a couple of years ago. So it was a beautiful sentiment and dedication to him. Hands down, Tess Starr had the best outfits. She made an outfit out of umbrellas.
I saw that.
Which was legit.
With disco balls and
amazing, right? And she looked gorgeous. She looked gorgeous. Then I think that Vita got robbed in the lip sync at the end, because she was just again, they lip synced to Cardi B, who was an exceptional judge.
Yeah.
She's such a great judge. Like, she was just so much fun, and I loved every second of it. Brower, I think her name is Brower or like Breyer or something like that, all right? She's got like this crazy ass walk. When you see it, you're going to be like, Faye told me about the crazy ass walk.
That's what Drew said.
It's quite a walk. It's like dinosaur. I've never walked in these shoes kind of deal, but she might make it work. Who knows? And right now, like, it's like it's neck and neck between Brower and Athena Dion as quick wits back and forth. They seem to be having some kind of like, friction, and we're all there for it. Usually in RuPaul's Drag Race, the first episode is the talent episode. And I think that's what all the queens were expecting, was a talent one. And they were like, where's the talent? No, they went right into a sewing challenge as the first challenge. And, we know that our South Florida queens are beautiful, talented, but they have issues sewing. And Athena made it very apparent and told everyone that she had bought 25 sewing lessons before she left. And her sewing teacher was actually there at our house.
Oh, wow.
And she was hysterical. She goes, I sent her with 2 patterns and said, good luck. You know what I mean?
Make it work.
You know what I mean? All this and a whole lot more. You've got to be supporting our South Florida queens. We went from not having any representation in RuPaul's Drag Race to having 5 Florida queens right now. That is simply not heard of. If you think about watching RuPaul's Drag Race, we've even watched RuPaul's Drag Race years ago going, where are the South Florida queens? How come we're not represented? And now they are in a big way. So
I think it's really great. And Athena is the queen of South Florida, actually the world.
The world!
She's everything. And they're all so amazing. And it's a great platform for all of the girls that are on the show. So I think it's great. It's putting Miami on the map, South Florida on the map, and showing how we do it here. We're a good, we know how to kiki here.
Yeah.
And they think we're going to get rid of the LGBTQ community in Florida. Right. Not happening.
Just try it. Just try it. All right. RuPaul's Drag Race airs Friday nights on MTV.
LGBTQ 1 Minute News. Let's queer up worldview. England-based study finds almost no complaints about trans women in women's spaces. New data from England undercuts claims about trans women in women's spaces. Advocacy group Translucent reviewed records from hundreds of public bodies between 2022 and 2024 and found just 4 relevant complaints. Hospitals, public toilets, leisure centers, and domestic violence refuges reported virtually no objections from cisgender women. The report says, quote, political and media rhetoric about trans women threatening women in single-sex spaces is unsupported by actual complaints, end quote. The group concludes this is manufactured controversy, not a documented crisis. All I can say is fake news.
All I could say is from first-hand experience, I have never had an issue walking into any space. One time, first year of my transition, Halloween night at a club in Gulfstream. And the bitch was pissed because I looked 1,000 times better than her. That's what that was all about, okay? But I've never had anybody look at me cross-eyed, never had any issues. And it's just so sad that now trans people, there's so much anxiety about going to the bathroom. are going to do natural things that have never been an issue.
Yeah.
So this is really fake news. It's a non-problem.
Right.
It's a non-problem,
you know,
that you're making a problem by saying it, by that rhetoric, by adding that rhetoric. That woman that goes into the bathroom and doesn't look at the other women that are in the bathroom. You're going to the bathroom to go to the bathroom.
And look at yourself, you know, fix
and
up
look
your
at
face.
yourself.
And actually, there's a bill that's introduced into Florida Congress this year. It's no bathrooms all across Florida, no matter what business you are. You have to go to the bathroom of your sex designated at birth, or if not, it can turn into a misdemeanor, I think. And that's just horrific.
Yeah.
It's just inhumane, horrific, and it's a non-problem.
Right.
Problem.
If it was a problem, I think we're intelligent enough to say, okay, this is a problem. Let's look for a solution. But it's not an issue. It's not a problem. So it's craziness.
Yeah.
Craziness. LGBTQ 1 Minute News. Let's queer up the worldview. Japanese football star comes out as trans, celebrates love and legacy. A Japanese football star has come out as a trans man, drawing widespread support. Marumi Yamazaki, 35, marked New Year's Day with an Instagram post alongside his wife, announcing a legal gender change and marriage. He said, quote, "This happened a while ago. I have changed my gender on my family register to male and married a really wonderful woman. The main reason I retired from soccer was to make this dream come true," end quote. Yamazaki, a former JEF United Chiba midfielder, retired in 2023 after earning 177 caps and playing for Japan at the 2013 Algarve Cup. This really warms my heart, you know, to see this, that two people saw each other as humans and fell in love, and there's still two humans in love. And I think it's great that they came out. But what I love more is that labels were not an issue, you know?
Yeah.
And people are so stuck on labels, especially, you know, in the world of the trans world that we're in with anti-trans rhetoric. So I think it's really an amazing story.
Yeah, it's sad that he had to retire from soccer to be his true, authentic self.
Yeah.
That's probably the only part, right? I'm happy that he's happy. I'm happy that he's found his love, right? And he gets to now navigate the world as a straight couple. I mean, that's what they are now, you know? You know, just like I said, I mean, he probably was ready to retire. But, you know, like, it's sad that he couldn't do both any longer. We don't live in a world where you can yet.
Right.
It is unfortunate.
Although I'm wondering over there if they have the issues that we have here in the U.S. I'm not sure. I don't know if they have the same problems. It seems like they keep pointing to us that we have here in the U.S.
I think, you know, I think the U.S. dominates a lot of the trends that happen. And I know that in Europe and in a lot of other countries, trends are shifting and changing to be more right and to be more anti-trans. So it's an effect that's global, you know?
Yeah.
But I think it's great that
visibility.
People just stand up. I stand up all the time. I stand up every day because I have to.
Yeah.
You know, I can't show up as half of myself. I have to show up as myself. We all do. And that's what life is about. Imagine being on my deathbed and saying, oh, I didn't show up as my whole self. Hell no, bitch.
I mean, shit. Then you wouldn't share that beautiful hair color of yours.
Wow.
Pito Rojo. Yeah. LGBTQ 1 Minute News. Let's queer up gay culture. Animal Crossing mod sparks online firestorm and transphobic abuse. An Animal Crossing New Horizons mod that makes the character Isabelle slightly curvier has ignited a major online backlash. Uploaded to Game Banana on January 4th, the fan-made mod gives the cartoon Shih Tzu larger breasts and buttocks, along with a slimmer waist. Activist and author Parker Malloy drew attention to the mod on Blue Sky, asking simply, quote, "Why though?" The response was swift and vicious. Malloy faced intense harassment, including transphobic death threats, and ultimately deleted her entire account. Since then, debate has raged online. Some call the mod a harmless fan expression. Others say it's misogynistic. She made the mod herself. What is the problem? We've been making our own mods forever, since The Sims back in the day. I mean, if you want, you know, if you want to make it dark hair, if you want to change, if you have straight hair and you want to make it curly, curlier. You can do that. And all she was doing, she didn't even make it like exaggerated. It didn't even look that out of the norm.
It wasn't
and now they're
just
getting
like a
death
rabbit
threats.
moment. It was natural looking, actually. I thought it looked tasteful.
Puberty.
You know? Yeah.
She went through puberty.
She went through puberty.
That's the way I look at it. I mean, think about it. I mean, Mortal Kombat, all those, you can take those characters and you can make them very masculine. You can make them very feminine. I mean, it happens, and it's like, it's a video game. Find something else to do.
Find something else to be mad at or mean to or whatever. This poor person had to delete their account. You know what I mean? After something that gives them joy. I'm not a gamer, right? But I have friends who game, and like, you know, they have friends in other countries, and they, you know, they game and have like community through that and everything. And you took that away from this person.
And we live in South Florida, where plastic surgery is like, you know, it's like an a la carte order, right? Like it's a normal, commonplace thing for us here and in other parts of the country. And people, no matter who you are, get plastic surgery. There's gender affirming care for everyone, not just for trans people. So
look at Elon Musk. He got gender affirming care.
Sure did.
LGBTQ 1 Minute News. Let's queer at politics. GOP Senate candidate sparks outrage with Nazi salute and anti-Semitic threats. A Republican candidate for U.S. Senate is drawing national condemnation after hosting a racist, anti-Semitic rally in Washington, D.C. Jake Lang, who is running for Florida's Senate seat and was jailed for allegedly assaulting Capitol Police during the January 6th riot, threw a Nazi salute outside the headquarters of the American Israel Public Affairs Committee. The incident happened amid growing concern over neo-Nazis openly aligning with Republican politics from extremist rhetoric and public displays of hate symbols. I have no comment.
Where's the pink Powerpuff Girl when you need her?
Listen, I can't even believe that this guy's running, but I don't even know why I'm surprised. Do you understand? Like, I'm like, he's running for a U.S. Senate seat, yet he was at the riots, but everybody at the riots got pardoned. Like, if they did nothing wrong, people died. People were hurt. People have PTSD forever after that. Yet he's free and he's out there doing what he wants to do, and no one's ever going to shut him down because the president of the United States is just like him.
It's sad. This is yet another example of, you know, a very marginalized demographic or small demographic. You know, there's only 2% of the population are Jewish in the United States. Did you know that?
No.
It's such a tiny amount. You know,
we have so many down here, so we automatically thought there was a bigger percentage.
It's a really, it's a really tiny percentage. So it's, again, picking on other people, and it's like, why? And then who wants to rehash like Nazi stuff again? But it started being normalized on television, and it's becoming more and more normalized, and that's horrific.
Well, remember when Elon Musk did that speech and he did the gesture, right? And then he was like, oh no, I didn't do that. Bitch, it's right there.
It's there. Yeah, it's scary.
As a nonprofit LGBTQ media organization, we would like to thank our viewers for supporting our mission to tell the stories of the queer community. We'd also like to thank the generous support of Jets Pizza. Jets is the LGBTQ community's most popular pizza in South Florida.
Take a look around these streets. Do you really think we woke up one day and said, yeah, the world needs more pizza? Nah, just a better one. Better, like the world's best pizza, Jet's Detroit-style pizza. Hand-pressed and baked to the thickest, crispiest crunch. You're welcome. Now visit jetspizza.com and save. Click on hot deals for special offers in your area. Jets, better because it has to be.
These are today's headlines from Queer News Tonight. Our anchors represent the best of our LGBTQ plus community.
If our community is important to you, share this news with your friends and family. Don't forget to join the conversation on your favorite streaming platform. Queer News Tonight is the only live LGBTQ digital television show in the world that is out of the closet and into the headlines.
We need your support. If our community is to grow and then thrive, we must tell our stories and bring them to the attention of the broader world. This is the only place in the world that tells these types of LGBTQ stories in motion and sound. That is the passion of Hotspots Magazine, Happening Out Television Network, and Queer News Tonight.
I'm your lead anchor, FayWhat, and I thank you for joining us on behalf of my fellow LGBTQ plus anchors here at Queer News Tonight, including Von Biggs and Franchesca D'Amore. We will see you daily at 8 p.m. To our LGBTQ plus world, we wish you a great night.
Good night.